To jump on straight away. Here I am, I'm back. I did grab another drink, so I might get even looser. I'm just going to hit refresh and I'll get the feet up. Yep, it's up. Turn the sound off. If I can, I can't. Why not? Cool. I got my chat up, so yeah, if you are here to chat, please chat. Moving on. I was up to 220, I'll turn my soldering iron back on. Aircon is cranking. Shame, I usually keep these legs on these 220s because they're decently long. Sometimes they make just good jumper cable sort of things. But by the time I've like bent them all up and stuff in this circuit, they do not amuse me. So I am going to wrap this right around until there's nothing left, and it's going to prod itself straight up. That way when I'm soldering it, I'm not sort of like just holding it in place where I want it to land. It's going to really live where I want it to land. Cool. So I've updated the diagram. Next time in the future, I'm going to do that 2M2 on the bottom row where the wire's going in. So it's got no interaction with this little jumper for the return. And I'm also going to do that jumper return wire last stage so that it's got, well, maybe I don't need to anymore. Yeah, I'll leave it as it is, that'll work anyway. So that I can fill, I might do it from the back, yeah, and then I can sort of see what's going on, use gravity on my side. If I solder from the big face, it might sort of like blob down the big face. Not blob, but like I don't want to have any interaction with parts I'm not soldering if I don't have to. So duplicate, yeah, 1 for 1, keep moving, do the same thing. Cut off the excess. Sort of trying to center it. I have not done the exact same thing. I'm going to see how this goes though. How about that? Something different. Oh no! That's why I haven't done the same thing. I'm not paying attention. Oh my god. This is on me. That was dumb. That was dumb. Because that has to... What I'm going to do is pretty much start again. Take out all the unnecessary lead film here. That's why it was behaving differently. It's got to jump 3 spaces. Pretty cool with using this part. Because I haven't really done anything to jeopardize the wiring in any way. This one I can still get it wrapped. I push my finger out of the space. Sometimes the wire just sort of like pokes into your skin, like, oh, that's a dermal layer. Alright, pretty cool with that. Get this out of the way. So the 2M2 and the input send and this 22 are all the first junction, first node that the signal sees. Put this from the back so it come out a bit better. And it's not really a critical tone cap, but it's still, I think a polypropylene, could be polyester, but usually those are polypropylene. IC is just like the best priced sort of part you can get from Mouser and the major distributors at the moment. Okay, so there are very few parts left if I keep moving. 1Ks, one left in each build. These ones look like the legs are a bit longer. I think they came from my local Dazatronyx store, so they get the good stuff. So it's going to jump this middle tab. I said none of the tabs are unused because it's actually connecting to a wire and the transistor at the bottom. So it looks unused, but this is a multi-dimensional layout. I'm just sort of trying to center it as always, make sure that I'm not putting any extra stress one way or the other on any tag. Same stuff that's been happening this whole build for hours and hours and hours. Okay. So it's sort of like I'm wrapping it now, fully knowing that once I lift the part up, I'm probably going to have to do it again. Just spacing it away from the board. Remembering that gravity's probably going to pull the part this way, if anyway. I can stick that in there. A bit of a crimp. Try and get everything straight up and down if I can. And then between these two, just gotta squish them together, like left and right. Laterally, sort of. If they do. Cool. Something like that. That is a 1K, not a 10K, right? Red, yes. Just checking. I hate to make like a dumb mistake like that, pull a part out at this point in the build. It would just ruin my evening. It's looking good. Copy paste, I must do it on the next one. So again, it's jumping 3 terminals. I'm putting my thumb in, getting a little bit of space before the kink. I'll take off some excess. Just make it manageable. I'll put a little pre-curve in so that I'm hooking in. That worked out. Checking over the right value, 1K going in, yes, it's the right value. Color bands look right, the orientation is right. So I've got all this free time, I'm looking over everything and just sort of, double checking everything. I remember once when I started building pedals, I asked on a forum, like, what should I be checking for before I post things? Like, how do I really check this pedal so I know the pedal is okay before I post it out? And everyone said, I do this, I do this. I run it through this, I probe it with that, hook it up to this. And then someone said something like, I'm constantly looking at the board mindfully as I'm building it, and I don't double check my board because I looked at it the whole time I was building it. And that made sense too. like you idiot check, like you do last looks and have just take a moment, have a think, like look, is everything soldered? But that's the main thing, getting it right as you go, not patching it up later. Anyway, not many people said anything like that. But if you want the real result, sometimes you need those outlandish sort of answers to get out, like exceptional sort of answers, results. They have to be the exception to what's already being said, what's happening. Something I was thinking about, talking crap, as I said I would. This weather is really hitting me. Okay. It's really the home stretch, like these are getting heavy and I can judge them by weight how done they are. Once they got the knobs on, they're that bit heavy, I'm like, oh, this one feels done. The knobs is the last stage for me, usually once, yeah, anyway, keep moving. 1K is done, we need, let's get the 10Ks in there. Which are these last 10s? That's another error checking, like if you count out what you take out, it should be what's going in, or what you take out should be what's going in. If not, something's gone wrong, or maybe you just miscounted, but you know, who can't count? Something went wrong. I'm gonna do both of these. This one's already kind of short. It's only going one thing, so I'm bending the leads in pretty close. Yeah, it's already really short. What's up with that? This is, what is this? It's the output of the input buffer. It's like the 10K tying to ground as it goes to the one mic off to the circuit. So I'm putting gold on that side, reading left to right. There is a risk of that shorting to the case, but that's already earth shorting to earth, so I don't care. Just, again, incrementally, little bit, making sure it's all centered and even. Just jumped out. Come on, I'm trying to look after you here. No, you're trying to cut my legs off. Yeah, I'm trying to do that too, but I'm going to make you look good like the rest of them. Oh, it's a win-win. For me. No! You didn't need that. What are you going to do with that? I'm going to melt your legs down, make little... I don't know. I'm just going to sell them for money, actually. So, yeah, you're right. That doesn't work out for you. But I'm going to enjoy melting them first. So I can solder the earth one now. I'm going to do it from the back of the tag. And I'm also going to use gravity on my side, like angle the box. And I'll spend a moment longer because it is heat sinked really well, being an earth. And same thing. This one's a little bit closer to the tag. Cool, I'm just going to space it out a bit, off away from the board. Is it a tag board? It's a tag strip, but like, it's a long board, I guess. It's a strip of board? Board strip? Tag board strip. Tag strip board, it's just tag strip mostly. Right value, 10K, that's right, good. It's got the orange band, that should be 10K. Different resistors, the color band will be different colors because they've got extra bands. So when you think you know them, you gotta think, am I in the right family here? This could be someone else's family. Oh, that's awkward. Just thinking about what's going in. I think the 220s would be best to do next. So this is 220 and then gold tolerance, that's 220. That's got to go on the flip side of where this 10 is. And no and, that's all. It's probably going to live on top of it. Like a bunk bed situation. No biggie. When I did the prototype one, I ran out of 220 ohm 1 watt carbon films, so I had to get a carbon comp, and I think one of them was a metal. So maybe the first two were like that. I'll just have like one of them up here was a carbon comp, and I think this one down here was metal. Could be the other way around, I don't know. I just saw it was higher, so let me yeah, just do that. I like that. I'm gonna do it again. And that's how days were made. What is this 220 even doing? Signal. Oh, okay, so it's going through. There's going to be a 1 light cap here. And it goes through the 220 off, then jumps across diagonally. Did I put that wire in? Yep, up to the op amp. So it's good to sort of have a look and think, because now I'm looking like, did I put that diagonal wire in? Sometimes you think that, and you look, and the answer is no, you didn't put that diagonal wire in. You think, oh crap, that's not going to work. So the more ways you can sort of look at the circuit, the more you're going to have your mind occupied with crap. See if I can put this on top. I reckon I can. Come on. Yeah, there we go. So the tag strip sort of bent over a bit to make room. But oh, it went down again. So one side I can solder, one side I can't because there's more stuff coming. Didn't fill it, but I did, it just sort of slipped away. No, I need more. There we go. Is your finger while it's hot? Not molten, obviously, because it's going to make a cold joint. And you can just wipe off all the black. What do you call it? I used to have a bad word for it. I'm going to stop saying that. Okay, 9K2. I think that's the last one in this box. Oh, we got 10K. No, it's not. 10K as well. Give you the next one? 9K2, yes. And for some reason, they are even smaller package. I don't think anyone's like pulled me up on it to notice, so. I think the reason is because I've got 100 of them, or like 92 of them now. What I've been doing is buying heaps of, well, like what I did the other day was I typed in 100K or 10K, something really common. I think it was 100 ohms. It was a part that I needed, and like all the results come up from different distributors. So I bought out, like, I do this every few years, I bought out like one of everything I could find up to like a certain value. Like they might go up to like $1 something per resistor. I'm like, well, I'm not going to build a whole pedal out of resistors that are $1 something. But you think about, like, well, maybe I will. Like if I'm just doing a fuzz and it needs like 4 resistors, then who cares? It's very different to something more regular that might have 15, 20 resistors. Then you might start caring more. So most of the builds are sort of done. Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, it sounds mean, but like to a budget of what sounds sensible. Like if I could afford more cool stuff, and like, yeah, there weren't many bits, I'll chuck in extra spice and flavor. Just cause. And I'm rather than do things like that, I'm trying to adapt to other things, like saving my labor by not powder coating this box. That means I can bump it around and not worry about babying it and stuff. Anyway, where am I going with this one? 9K2, I can solder now, just one side of it. And then I'm going to reposition it just a little bit. A bit that way. No, it's happy. I'm happy. But I'm going to say it's happy too. I'm just going to anthropomorphize all resistors from this point on, okay? Okay, it's the same deal. Duplicate. It's really the home stretch. Look, it's nearly a finished TS10. I can feel it. 2 of them. Oh, these have never existed before. 2 TS10s in the same place at the same time. You know, like a week ago, 2 TS10s might not have, like the XLs might not have existed at all. How long ago was that? Anyway, staying excited. Hope people like these pedals. Imagine someone gets it, oh yeah, it's pretty good, yeah, it's like that. But I feel like they're pretty exciting pedals. Like you plug them in, you want to look inside, and so yeah, the last video did get abruptly interrupted, and because of that I feel like the HD upload isn't going to come through, so but I still looks like I'm going to get the whole series of building these pedals beginning to end, minus the enclosure, like a bit of prep work and, you know, all the other stuff that goes along with it. But just in terms of the actual soldering part, which is not even always the biggest part of the pedal. On this one it definitely is. But for building pedals, a lot of the work is not just soldering, is my point. Okay, 9K2, I'm double checking the value, 9 to red, that's right. And I'm also double checking the orientation, though if it was in backwards I probably would just leave it at this point, and it could be like a Where's Wally for someone to find, like, hey, he made a backwards one. You should put the value up. Or down, I don't know. Okay, 510 we need, I need, which pretty sure I don't do in carbon film, I just do it in metal film. Let me check. I say I'm pretty sure, but here I am looking anyway. 470, next one's 1 meg, no. So they come out of a different box. Uh, 510s. So 510, oh. Oh, oh. Okay, I have like 2 of those. Man, I hope I ordered more. I have just the right number to finish these 2 builds. So, yeah, anyway, as I was saying, 510 was the Ibanez value. I'm going to put that on my desk. Boss would maybe use 470s as a sort of reasonable input bias value. The lower the value, the lower the noise. The lower the value, the more volume drop off, which will be dependent on input impedance, whatever the output is of whatever you're feeding to the input. So the output impedance of your device. Sorry. But either way, both are good. So I'm going to do the 510 as per Ibanez. That's in. I'm just going to look. 22 I'm going to do first. It's just a bit tidier. 18, do I have 22s? Yes, I do. So for that 510, I've just left the bag on my desk for the parts order. In the gap while I was going today, I did have to do parts orders. I sort of did some CNC routing stuff to give to Taylor. They're going to do an experimental box. It's version 3. So this is a 22. There's only going to be a couple parts in here. A 510, I've got this 22, there's 1 mic, and then I'm dropping in the electrolytics for both. I do them last, and then the bypass wire, remind me if I forget, thank you. So this will go from ground yeah. So this is a weird one. This makes a different bias voltage for Q1, which was exclusive to the design in the TS10. Only because I haven't tested it so much, I would argue that this is probably the most important difference between a TS10 and an 808 or a TS9. And it should actually sound the same if it's doing its job. The only thing I can imagine doing differently is if you abused it and hit it with a really hot signal, it would do something different. Like, it's hard to say it wouldn't. So what's going on, normally you've got the half voltage bias reference, which you bias the op amp at. Half voltage is good for op amps. You also bias the output stage, which is good because you've also know the output of the op amp is limited to whatever the clipping diodes is, so it's not anything crazy, so that's fine. But on the TS10, the bypassing system was a bit different, and they made an individual biasing network which wouldn't be influenced by the ripple of anything else in the circuit so much. And that voltage is set to something that I assume the transistor will handle better than just saying half voltage, which is a good starting point, but when you're biasing a transistor, it's not always the same as an op amp. It might actually be way up one end where you start getting a good sort of swing range to get output out of it. A bit of a misconception that everything's always, bias it right in the middle because that's where it works the best. So I've copied that. I've done the what they've done in their bias, in their bypass section, the way they've biased it individually at a different voltage. I've made that voltage here, biased the input buffer transistor the way it would be in their flip-flop, you know, circuit. Okay, just let me look. I can't solder either of those yet because there's a cap in here and there's a resistor in there. So you might say you could have just used the other half voltage reference and it will do the same thing, which is what the TS9 and 808 builders do. And obviously that works really well. But if you did that, it wouldn't be a TS10. So I used that section of tag strip. I probably could have used like less tag strip by not doing that. So I used like 3 terminals, but I just thought I'd do it anyway. So 220, I'm just double checking. 220K, not ohm. Yeah, that's orange, that's good. Oops, stick that back up, cool, good. 220, I'm just going to straighten up that other one beside it here. It's 10, okay, there we go. Oh, 220 ohm, sorry, not 10, I was looking at it backwards. Tickety. And space it out sort of as evenly as I can. And while I do that, I'm still trying not to pull and prod on the tags and the board too much. I want it all nice and even and not like tugged in every direction. Okay, 510s can go in, and then the 1 mics can go in, and then 1 wire can go in, the electroleads can go in, pedal is done, the knobs can go on. I can test them and get my homework done and think about dinner or something like that. So I'm going to bend these down, see where they come out. I mean, it's a little bit shorter than the carbon. I guess I'll still go out the outside and wrap around and come in, but it's tempting to come on the inside and wrap out. I will do them far away, that way there's a bit more flex space in the lead, because it looks like they're going to need it. So I originally thought if I make these metal films, I'll get lower noise because it's a biasing resistor. But depending on the material, some of the carbon films these days are pretty low ppm per degree. So if I push this down, come on, yay, come on, I'll latch it in. So I've got to keep an eye on that, like check out ppm and just double check which metal films or metal type you're buying versus if there is a carbon, there might be a lower value. So I can't solder this one yet, there's still the cap going in at the top. And that's going to stabilize the voltage of that input buffer. But I can get the bottom. That's being fed through a 1K resistor at the input, just in series. That's just going to protect the part from doing too much damage. 1K is like a real minimum load. If you get up to 33, you get like complete protection, but then you got 33k extra impedance, which will be roll off, be noise, be volume loss, etc. Yep. Okay, we're going to copy that. Same deal over here. Bend it down pretty firmly. Bend it across. Bend it across. Cut. Cut. I'm sick of this. That one's worked out pretty well so far. It's my appreciation moment. Pat on the back. Okay, how did that one go? Let me check. Maybe I can crib it a bit more. Yes, I could. Beautiful. Gold band at the bottom. It's got a hook up between. Well, that helped. Just see if I can squeeze it in here. There's not much room left in that bloody tag terminal thingy. Alright, it's in. It's in. Straighten up. Fly straight, come on. I dropped it, it fell. It's out, it's out. That's a little bent up now. Just not much space. Yeah, I should be going canoeing tomorrow. Oh, that'd be fun. I gotta work out my schedule, I gotta pack a bag. That's another thing I'm gonna do tonight after I like post labels and stuff for these. Okay. Up in Warrandyte. Okay, that resistor just has to shove aside. Excuse me. Canoeing sounds, yeah, I mean the weather was crazy today, but I think tomorrow's actually better. I'm sort of like 30% convinced it should be a free study day. The schedule's screwed up. I have to check in with that too. I've put the resistor in backwards. No. After all that, maybe that's why I didn't want to go in. It's just being a real turd. It's like, no, there's a reason. Oh dear. But yeah, I thought canoeing would be better than rafting too, because I don't like this group effort stuff. You got a captain rafts, or you have to have like a raft full of people who don't need a captain. But canoeing, you can just float your own canoe however you like. Liquefy that and straighten those. Metal films get hot. They carry a lot of heat real quick. Okay. So the one mics are going to go in. I'll put them aside. They're here. More of them are on order. I've got more of these 650 volt, whatever that. Are they 650? 250. Sorry, that's bigger. Which one was 650? There's 630. I've got more of these coming from Mouse. I've also got some of the regular 5mm MKT CBB BCC. No, that's Big Black Cock. CBB? Cock Big Black. No, that's the one. Just the regular ones coming. So what am I going to do with this? I'll get rid of that lead form from the factory. Again, that sucks. Sorry, I don't like undoing work. I feel like that's a man thing. If you've done something, you don't undo it. That's a backward step. And these too, like these caps weren't cheap because I only needed 4 of them, so like the company charges me a ton. Then you look at, well, once if you bought 500 of them, yeah, that's fine. But you wanted 4 of them just to try them out. Hey Tony, thanks for checking in. I'm just rambling. I'm actually getting to the final stretch. I can't believe it. I guess I feel like that every time. So these caps, I'm going to leave a lot of extra slack at the end before they sort of grab in, and put a little hook to grab from the top into the tag. And I don't have spare shots with these caps either, so until the new ones come in the week, I can't mess them up. Just cutting some legs off. I'll do them both at the same time. So yeah, these were ordered last week. It's public holiday in Victoria now, and I've just been flat out getting onto them. After this, I'll sort of be in front of most things. Have to restock some shops, stuff like that, but I haven't done any of my schoolwork, and I'm stressed as hell with just like keeping up. Probably just with life in general. Wait. Okay, I'm going to use gravity to feed that down and grab that part. Heat up the terminal, not the parts. Seat that. That's in a good spot. It's got enough clearance for the bottom panel to go on later. If possible, I wouldn't mind squishing these 2 parts together. Yep, that worked out. Let me just double check. Can I flow that? Nothing else is going in there. That's fine. I just don't want to make silly mistakes at this point, you know. I'm double checking everything. Any of that black burnt flux rosin. Try and scrape off now. This 220, I'm just going to space it off a bit further from the board, make it even. I like it. Why have I got 2 100ths left? Did I miscount? Probably. Probably? Okay. Let's deal with that later. So I'm just going to put little hooks on those. That one I put that way. This one I can probably put the other way because I can't. I mean, I can read that, but it would just be easier to read this way. There's a Panasonic. Maybe that's what that little M means. Like, I know they have the M series electro caps. If I was a company, I'd just put my company name on the side. No one's going to look you up. People paying for the name, man. I'm just gonna crimp that. Cool. I'm hoping, no, I was gonna say, I'm hoping it's just gonna sit right there. I'm just going to hold it in the spot where I want it, especially while that molten joint's solidifying. You shouldn't have any movement when the joint. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now it's leading up the wire a bit, but if I hit the terminal, it will just like, the flux will take the solder to where the heat is, which is the terminal. If that should be the hottest thing. So when I move the iron away, it should, yeah. Okay, that's looking good. Straighten him up, or her, because it's a 220. I think 220 is a hers. I just can't imagine a 220 being a him, but whatever. 510 could be a him. What's missing now is the electrodes. I said I'd save them to last. Here's some I bought earlier. I think that's the last one from the last batch. And I think I just bought 10 more because the price break going up to like 100 isn't that much. It's just me being screwed by that particular distributor. Not screwed. Spent. So this anode cathode, so the negative side, is the way that the arrows are pointing. It's probably the shorter side. They look the same. Anyway, I'm going to look at the useful information at the top, hopefully. Bend it in. Again, this will have every opportunity to hit the chassis wall, but that side that's hitting will be earth, so no one cares. So this one is for, it's a 220. I'm using 25 volt just in case someone plugs in an 18 volt. It's also going to mean that I'm underrunning the part by a large amount. Like it's never even going to get half of its suggested voltage, unless someone actually does run this pedal on 18 volts, which I don't really recommend or want. That's just how I don't want it, yeah. Alright, so doing my best. It's falling over. I'm not really going to have a lot of room to get in there. I'm going to cut it. Be careful not to cut the lead coming down. I'm not going to do mechanical wraps. I'm just, okay, how about, I'm going to solder one side before I move too much further. And then I'll be able to work out how much lead length I want on the other side. It's getting dark, I might turn the light on. It's not helping much, but it is 7:45-ish, 18 minutes to 8. More precisely. So, another reason I'm happy to not wrap this part up is because electrolytics do have service lives, shelf lives. I'm sort of trying to counter this by, like I said, overrating the part. It's overrated in terms of voltage, it's overrated in terms of capacity. It's also not a critical part. If it wasn't there, the circuit would still work. If the value changed, the circuit, say it halved in value, it's still going to be like twice as big as it needs to be. If it doubled in value, that's fine. How did I go? I didn't use the whole tab there. Still no. Okay, well this part's going to get real hot. Third time's the charm. Come on. I just don't want to melt the component either. Cool. There's 2 per pedal. I'm going to do, I guess, both of them, then move on to the next pedal, see how that goes. Wow, very little space. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 components going in this one tab. Let's check the orientation's right. Yes, it is. All good. I'm still thinking, trying to work out if I should go into class tomorrow. I've got conflicting advice, and I don't want to waste my time on the off chance. Wow, I left way too much on that. I think I was expecting to maybe wrap it around and. But no, yeah. So I'm heating the component here, not the terminal, that's not good. But I'm going to quickly flip it up, hold it up where I want it. Cool. That one mic is sort of getting in the way of where I'd normally put this guy, but just cut that a bit closer, a bit sloppy. Sorry for all the views at the top of my head. I'm just sort of scoping downwards. Again, I've tried to heat the terminal, just bring the heat down where I want the solder to go. And that's beautiful. Just straighten things up a bit. That should be there, that should go there. That's looking great. It's got one more wire to go, and that's a complete pedal. If you can see that. I had like real doubts about getting this done. I thought it might run one more day, which would have sucked because it would have meant my expectations didn't meet reality as usual. But I'm just getting a bit sick of wearing that as a factor all the time. So if I set goals, if I advertise them, like I tell people, hey, I'm doing this, I'm sort of compelled to pull that trick out of the hat. So thanks if you're watching the live videos. It sort of means like there's someone evident to having to get it done. If that makes sense. If you're in Tassie, keep an eye out for the auroras. The KP index sometimes, some nights these days is getting really high. cut that? Can I cut that? Only just. Okay. It's not bad where it's landed up. I'm gonna solder it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't move. It did not. That's good. This is correct. I'm just double checking. Okay. Pull that up. Get rid of the slack. I don't want to have excess lead that can ever be bent and short to anything else. So up. Yep, that's good. Bend it roughly, So that's filtering the entire power supply for the whole pedal, mostly the chip, the output buffer. It's filtering the input to the bias networks and coming in through that 6,800 microhenry inductor, which is something in the 32 ohms, something like that. So this one too, bend it down, negative going to earth, to that way. This is the last component. Can't explain why I got these 2 extra hundreds out. 10, 10, 10, 220, 22, 100. Yeah, just a miscount, I guess. But, you know, anomalies are usually errors. Anything that looks weird is usually worth investigation. Nothing should look weird. Okay. Again, I'm not going to wrap these, I'm just going to cut them close. In case anyone ever wants to take them out, replace them, whatever. That anyone's going to be me. So just look after me. Could be someone else. I might be dead. Tom Fox, why the inductor? It's just DC regulation, non-linear regulation. So what's more important is the resistor value than the induction value. But I just have a bag of the inductors, and the DC, like the resistance of them is really handy for that sort of range. And like this, and then squish, get it away from that resistor there. Yeah, you can use anything. You don't have to use those 6,800s in my kits. But it is sort of like a fun idea that the thing filtering your power is actually an inductor as well. That's what's causing the resistance. It's something you'd normally not want from your inductor. Like an ideal inductor, you're not going to have resistance, I guess. Cool. Wow. What is missing is a wire which goes from here to there. Last one I measured was 88. I'm going to see how I feel about that. And just cut one, move to the next one, see how I go. I was thinking of making it 89. Let me just double check that. Maybe I subconsciously just cut it longer. No, that's fine. So take 2 mil off one end, and about 4 mil off the other. That was maybe 5. That was 5. Alright, 2 and 5, I'm going to call it. Moment of truth. So one end is trying to go into switch, sharing with that little jumper that's in there. And the other end, yeah, that's alright, that's good length. I guess I'll just feed. Yeah. Might straighten it out first, huh? It's a bit of a mess. Sometimes I think the more I play with it, the worse it's gonna get. Yeah, who cares? Just leave it. So, one end. And t'other, I guess we'll just feed in. Doesn't quite need a wrap. Let's see if I can get a wrap on it. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I'm just going to do that. I'm really happy with that. Whoa, I tried to pull it away, but it got stuck. Anyway, all good. All the hardware's protecting it. I'm going to cut that little excess off. Not bad. This one's done. I just got to put the knobs on, but it's done. Aircon's working well. That fan can come off. What did I say? 88? I'll do 88 again. 88. Two and 5. 2. 5. Maybe 4 would have been the right amount, because then I wouldn't have to cut off that little bit. Little bits. Okay, into the switch. Come on. Just get a little crimp. There we go. Saying that little bit of wire doesn't push into any insulation. It's also joining on to the terminal and that link wire that's already in there. Oh. That's pretty good. Try and do this one from the other side. I like it. They're both about the same. Cool. I'm gonna take my iron off. I guess I can do an idiot check of like the ones I've just done. Caps are in the right way. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Okay, I'm gonna do the critical stage, which is the final stage, which is knobbing off. Just let me go get the knobs. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I personally knob off each pedal myself when I'm done. Just the way of saying it's really finished off. sit back, take a moment. These ones have dial indicators, so if I just line them up, let me test it. Assuming I've drilled it right, which is not a great assumption, but so I've just done it. I've tacked them in a bit, found the orientation, the seating, the registration, whatever, and then I've tightened it up that last little bit. So I'm starting with them all twisted one way, so I know where I'm working from. Setting him at the bottom of the dial, I guess that's like the 7 o'clock position. And tighten them up from there. There. Like the soldering iron's off, these are done pedals now. What I'm missing, I've got to do certificates. I can ink them in the morning. No, I'll do them tonight. I got to do these plates. Just put my name on them. Dazatronyx. It's the same every time. Thanks, man. Thanks, Tom. I'm still not really feeling them as done yet. Gotta test them, do the certificates. I noticed these builds, I actually don't send an instruction manual. There's no input or output labeled. There's no polarity labeled. How about I do it? I'll do it here. 9 volt DC. I won't bother with the polarity because if they get it wrong, it just won't work. And also, why would you get it wrong? These are 3M feet from Mouser, MO user, money order user. People might just rip these off, I don't know, but you know, even if it sits in a shop or something, like it just, I know it's going to protect them, and I want them all uniform. You can put Velcro on, I don't care. So yeah, this isn't the most interesting part of the pedal. The pedal's done. I'm going to test them. They're going to work. I haven't really like looked over them any extra than as I built them, I guess. Like I could spend half an hour just like double checking everything, but I'm not saying they're guaranteed problem free, but I'm banking on it. I can't afford for them not to work, because I'll just like start pulling hair out of my head. So I might as well do these certificates because I can't really do them in the morning. I'm going to pack these up tonight. I'm opening up my serials file and I'm up to 2,462. Just make sure the pen's running well. Let's see, 2,462. to 2,463. And then I got to match these to the box. I'm just going to write the serial number on the inside of the box as well. 2462. 2462. And I might write it on the bottom. 2462. 2463. 246. That way if the bottom ever gets taken off, it can be matched to the top. Like imagine someone having like two serial numbers, two different pedals, and like which one went on what, because there's no printing on the bottom of these, there's no branding. So that's it. I'm gonna sign off in a bit. Smack. I'm definitely going to be busy now, so now I'm going to like make the cardboard boxes, put in some guitar picks, put in, I think I actually have to run the printer now and make some cloth bags. I was going to say paper. I'm so tired. Yeah, I'm going to turn the printer on now, print up some cotton bags and get these in the post tomorrow, to the very patient people who ordered them. And I really hope they dig them. I hope you think they're beautiful, etc., etc., and they just excite you and encourage you to play your stuff and just play with them, have fun, enjoy the sounds that you make with them, and your interaction with them and your experience of just showing off to your friends. Look at this! Look at this! Yeah, there's a little bug that joined me. So thanks, guys. Have a good night, day, morning, whatever you're doing. And I'm going to work out where the sign off button is.